Dave Matthews is going to be played in drop D tuning. If you don't know what that means, it means that you take your 6th string, which is typically tuned to an E, and you drop it down to a D so that it's the same note as your 4th string. The whole song is really pretty easy because most of it is droning on a D chord. You're going on like a D kind of power chord or D5 chord shape. You're going to put your first finger on the 5 string 5 fret, your ring finger on the 4 string 7 fret, and your pinky finger on the 3 string 7 fret. And you will be doing a hybrid of kind of palm mute strumming and sometimes more open strumming across strings, open 6, fretted 5, fretted 4, and fretted 3. You're going to be avoiding strings 1 and 2 altogether in most of this song. And this is the opening riff. It's really just downs and ups with accents every 1E and a 2E and a 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the accents are coming on the 2 and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, interspersed in this D chord, you can hear Dave Matthews at times lift up his ring finger, where his first finger will be barring the 4th string. You can also hear sometimes him come down to a different D shape, where you would leave your pinky finger stagnant where it's at, right there, or static where it's at. And you will move your 2nd finger to the 5 string 5 fret and your 1st finger to the 4 string 4 fret to give you that D-shaped chord, and he will alternate between that and the bar of your 1st finger across strings 5 and 4 on the 5th fret. And that would usually be coming on an up strum for this alternate D chord and then back down on the bar. Or actually, they would both be ups. So up, down, up, down, up, down on the switches there. Something like that. And he plays it different every time, but that's the general gist inside of this D chord. When we go to the first chord change, it's going to be to a G major chord, which will be made by just taking your first finger and barring it across the 5th fret of strings 6, 5, and 4, with your pinky finger remaining on the 7th fret of string 3. And it just keeps the same strumming pattern there before going back to the D. Also, another note real quick, sometimes whenever Dave Matthews plays this, it's real kind of quiet and subdued, and he's palm muting these chords by laying his palm right across the bridge or the saddle of the guitar to mute the strings. Other times it's just all out with open strings, so play it however you want to. So verses alternate between the D and the G like that. Whenever we go to the chorus is going to be a B minor. So the way that this is going to be played is you're going to come down for your first finger on the 5 string 2 fret, your ring finger on the 4 string 4 fret, your pinky finger on the 3 string 4 fret. And most of the time I think that Dave Matthews is just playing those 3 notes in this chord and allowing his first finger and 2nd fingers that like the back of his first finger and the front of his 2nd finger to mute out the 6th string and strings 1 and 2, and that he's just playing those 3 chords right there. Sometimes I feel like he might actually pull his 2nd finger or those 3 notes there. Sometimes I feel like he might pull his 2nd finger back and put it on the 2nd string 3 fret to play a technical B minor, but most of the time it looks like his 2nd finger is hanging free and that all that's getting played are strings 5, 4, and 3. After the B minor, it comes back up to this G, which is the same G shape as before, with your first finger barring the 5th fret of strings 6, 5, and 4, and your pinky finger on the 7th fret of string 3 before going back into the D chord. The last parts of this song to be familiar with is the bridge that happens, which will be As I Rest My Feet by This Fire part. It's going to just be alternating between the G chord and the D chord. G to the D to the G to the D, and it just does that back and forth before the last round goes to the B minor, holds on the B minor, and and he says, I'll make heaven and call it home, maybe. And on the word home, he comes back up to the G chord, and then back into the D. The outro to the song will be alternating between an A sharp and the D chord. The way that you make the A sharp is you'll come down with your first finger on the 5 string 1 fret, your pinky finger on the 3 string 3 fret. And sometimes it's just those 2 octaves that are getting played with your other fingers basically muting out every other string but strings 5 and 3. Other times I think that the 4 strings ringing out open. Sometimes I think that Dave Matthews might put his ring finger down on the 4 string 3 fret and play it as kind of a fuller chord. But then you come back up to our standard D-shaped chord on the 5 fret of string 5, 7 fret of strings 4 and 3, and it just alternates between that. It's also worth mentioning that this A sharp is coming on an up strum, like down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So that's beginning on the up strum. Also, during the song, sometimes Dave Matthews just vamps on an open D chord where you would put your first finger on the 3 string 2 fret, your ring finger on the 2 string 3 fret, and then either leave the first string open or fret the first string with your second finger on the 2nd fret. But that feel is happening on open D chords to the A sharp, back to the D chord. So those are the chords and the movements to Don't Drink the Water by Dave Matthews. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to approach the song.